Welcome to Art Journal Life. Today, we're going to take this stuff and we're going to make a collage. So that's what we're going to work on. And I am going to try to sit while I do it. And I don't have my iPad because things are crazy in my house. So I'm going to make something here. And hopefully you can see it pretty good. Okay. So I wanted to show you some things. So the first thing I wanted to remember to show you, have you ever seen these translucent um, sticky notes, sticky pads, whatever they were called? So this is a plastic feeling material. I just thought this was kind of cool. And I don't know how I'm going to use it in my journal, but I love that you can see through it. So they have pink. They were all bright colors. So they're pink, neon green, and white, and orange. So they're all very bright. But I thought they'd be cool to write on and use in my journals. So these came from Office Depot quite a long time ago, so I don't know if they still have them or make them, but I thought they were super cool. So, okay, I wanted to remember to show you that. Now, I have all this collage fodder here that I'm interested in using, and what I really wanted was to use this as my main focal point. I don't know why, but I love this image so much. And here's a tag that I thought I would use as yeah, here on my, to make a tag. Fold it in half. I just thought that was cool. So I'm going to do that. And then I have all these pieces, but I want this right here, this image, to be a focal point. So I often do this. I rip things out and I just decide that I love them, I like them, whatever it is, and I'm going to use them. However that may come about. But I want it, I definitely want this to be the main focal point. I think I just was in love with these shoes. I mean, come on. Aren't those awesome? She's got this little tattoo down here. I just love it. Okay, so who's on? Donna and Estella. Hello, hello. Good to see you. I don't have my iPad today, ladies, so I'm flying solo here. I'm hoping that my hair doesn't get in the shot because I am sitting down while I work on this. So these are just pieces of collage fodder or old paper, whatever that I've had. I brought some paint. I brought these. I don't even remember what these are called. These are from Tim Holtz, I believe. But they have these little pads, I guess I'd call them, that you can use for stenciling. So those, and then again, I have just some random pieces of paper everywhere. So I'm looking for things that I might like on this page. Oh, I want this. I definitely want this. So sometimes when I get like this in particular, I start right here. So let's do that. Let's start right there. So I think it's a little overkill, but let's use this. So I'm going to put some glue behind here. I think I'm going to leave it as is. Oh, and I can tell you that my glue is a little, I might have to switch to a glue stick because it feels very clogged up, this one. Let's see if I can get enough glue out of here though. I'm gonna have to work on that later. I like wet glue when I have these clear papers like this because it allows it to adhere and you don't really, you can see through them. And I guess with the Oohoo glue stick, I could do the same thing. The reason why I like these little glue bottles is because it puts on that thin layer. And it's not too much glue, but it gives you a super thin coverage. Okay, so I am going to just make sure that this is all the way glued down. And I am going to glue this little spot right here. Now for the rest of the collage, but you see how this deli paper really disappears in the background? But for the rest of the collage, I might use the glue stick. You know, just to keep it real. I'll have to put this back together later. Hopefully I remember, because I've done that and it's clogged up my glue bottle before. I also have this. It's a lot of the same kind of colors there. This was a pencil that, a Lyra pencil that is water soluble. So maybe what I'll do, because I like it, I want to see it. So maybe what I'll do is something like this. And then again, I'll still use my glue bottle. So I thought that I should tell you about what's been going on here. So we've replaced our floors in our whole downstairs of our condo, and it was way more than I anticipated. There's so much moving to do, and it's just taken up so much time, and I'm exhausted. Plus, once you put down new floors, you get an idea that the rest of your condo needs to be painted, or everything needs to look fresh and new. So amidst all this, I'm trying to get some painting done. So I'm exhausted. And yes, it's something I chose to take on, so, you know, what can I say? I knew that it was going to be a lot of work, but it's a lot of work. Okay, let's talk about the tab here. So what I wanted to do was fold this in half to make this tab. I love things that hang off of my journals. I want to make my journals look more like me. So a lot of times I take these ticket things, and that's what I do. I use them as tabs. So this one I'm going to put, I think, down here. Like that. And I don't worry about the other side. You know, it's now there's something already here. I can paint over the dollar signs or whatever if I don't like them or embrace them, whatever. This was just some random stuff there. And as I said, I wanted this to be my focal point. I was totally in love with the shoes or whatever, but I also love this. So I may put this underneath here. And it would tie with the blue jeans a little bit. So I'm gonna probably use the glue stick on this and get this down. I'm looking to see if there's any comments. So during this whole process, I haven't slept well. I'm not sleeping in my bed because they're doing the bedroom also. And there's a lot of things that need to be taken care of. I'm not eating normally because our kitchen was under a mess. Then once we got our kitchen back, you're still not eating normally because there's just stuff everywhere. It's just nuts. Crazy, crazy, I tell you. Okay, so now I think what I'm going to do with this is I was going to put down, oh, I like this too. I think I'm going to put this down too. I want to do a little stenciling, so that's what I'm doing with that. I don't advise using your glue stick right on your journal because you're going to get sticky things in places you don't want them. So do as I say, not as I do. That was my mother saying back in the day. I don't know which way I'm going to want to see that. Okay. So that's down. I think I'm going to lay this pink out here. So I have my gel plate, and I'm just using that as a way to get some ink on my ink stamper, whatever. I don't know what these are called. Stampers? We'll call them stampers. First of all, I had this little, I don't know what this came from, but I thought, ooh, that would be an interesting mark on my page. And there's that. I might do more. And maybe one more. What I like about this paint is it dries pretty quick. What I don't like about this paint is it dries pretty quick. This is the Dilutions paint. But I love that little mark. And I'm going to stick this in some water I have over here because I don't want this to dry with paint on it. So I think if I put it in the water, it will give me time to be able to rinse it off after. So there's that. This is going in a direction that I like, but I think what I'm going to do, I'm not afraid to use my fingers sometimes, so since I put that already in the water, just going to get a little on my fingers and rub in here. Now, if you've been with me for a while, you know that pink is one of my very favorite colors. So I add it a lot to things. And if I wanted a balancing color, I'm going to try to put this down here. So I could go down here with some scribbles with my Stabilo. And if I have an image like this, sometimes I like to, now that's a pretty good match actually, didn't intend for that, but sometimes I like to carry the color, carry the image or the design through what I'm making, whatever it is I'm making. So now also with this, this is water soluble, so I could just hit it with a little water. And do something like that. Okay, and since I wanted this to be my focal image, this is a little too, I didn't mean to get carried away, I guess, with that. So I probably would work on this border a little bit more once it dries. but I am going to get this image down because I do really love it. I'm not worried about my jelly plate still having color on it because I'll use that just like that for something I'm making, and that color will come up. You can also use a baby wipe on those jelly plates like that. Okay. So now, again, it was about the pants and the shoes here. As long as that's dry, I can do some pen work over top of it, and I think I have a stabilo here. So I can do something like this. To take away from the too much blue that I felt was going on. And then come over here and make marks over here of some sort. Again, to take away from the too much of the sameness going on. Maybe here. And you could switch colors. I mean, I could have done white here. And if I want to continue the theme, I could do something like this. Just to soften the edge, to bring the eye up here a little bit. I don't know. Now this is one of those moments I'll sit with this and then I'll decide what I want to maybe add to it. Do I want to add something to it? Do I like it the way it is? I'll let it dry before I do too much to it. Okay, guys, thank you all so much for being here today. I think for today, I'm going to call that good. I'm glad that I got this down. Again, this was an image that I really, really loved. I like to integrate my pieces sometimes, so this is what I think I did here. I love this little tab, and this book is becoming more and more what I want it to be. More and more me, I would say. More images, and I love that about these little books. They're quick to fill, they're fun to fill, and they're over before you know it, but at the same time, it makes it fun. So use art to relax, because that's what I've been doing, and I've loved every minute of it. So I hope you guys have a great day, and I will see you tomorrow at 3 o'clock Eastern. Take care, everybody.